Hey y'all, it's the end of week 13 on remote year. For those of you who haven't joined before, I am recording a video at the end of every week of my year journey with remote year, where I'm living and working remotely in a different country every month for 12 months. And like I said, this is the end of my 13th week. You can see we're here in the very green city of Mexico City. This is actually the balcony of my apartment that Remote Year provided me. It's really nice this month. I love the green space. It's amazing. If you haven't been following along, basically this is midway through our 4th month. We've been in South America up until now. Now we're in Central America in Mexico City. This is our first longer month. Usually we spend 4 weeks in a place. Now we're spending 5 weeks in Mexico City before we head to Asia for 4 months. And then just talk a little bit about what I did this week. So let's see, this is the first full week I actually spent in Mexico City, because as soon as I got here, if you watched my last video, you know I went to get scuba certified, went to the coast. So yeah, this is my first time exploring Mexico City. I think first real highlight is I probably ate more tacos this week than I ever have in my entire life. One reason is we actually had a taco eating competition across our entire remote year group one of the nights this week, and I ate kind of disgusting amount of tacos. I ate 21 tacos. There's like some debate whether it's 21 or 42 because they were double tortilla, but like whatever the real number is, it's too many tacos in one sitting for me to eat. But I'm very competitive and I had to do it. And also just on top of that, obviously Mexico City has amazing tacos. I think the best part of the tacos here are just like the local ones. So today for lunch, I went to just stand on the corner. I've been lucky where my stomach hasn't been so bad since I've been here, but a lot of people have not been so lucky, so be careful if you try it. But I think it's worth just flushing it out of your system so you can eat the local food anyway. But anyway, I went to a taco stand for lunch and got the taco lunch special, which was 5 tacos for 50 pesos, which 50 pesos is $2.50. And they're the better tacos than you'll ever get in the US. They're delicious, and it's a $2.50 lunch. So and also I did this like Airbnb tour by myself where we tried 4 different taco stands, and he took me to places that I probably wouldn't have gone on my own. Like one place where I was literally the only gringo in the entire place, and they fed us tacos out of a bucket, and they might have been the best tacos I've had yet. Or actually we went to a Tuesday market yesterday for lunch, and I had some barbacoa tacos, and actually maybe that one was the best taco. But anyway, Mexico City has great tacos. You come here during lunch, you just eat at this little stool on the taco, you spend $2, you have a great lunch. I wish America had more stands like the ones they do here. And that's great. Second thing I've been doing this week, probably my best day here so far was actually like this Saturday morning when I woke up and just like went for a run. One of the cool things about Mexico City is obviously it's a giant city. The population is bigger than New York City, but in the area we're staying in, which is called La Condesa, it's actually not as skyscraper, not as high-risey, so it's a really cute neighborhood to walk around, and there's so many trees. So they actually have a lot of running paths in the city. There's this one loop right around Condesa that I think it's about a mile, and it's just tree lined on both sides. It feels like you're running in a jungle. So I love how runnable the city is. There's also this giant park that I haven't run through yet, and that I definitely can't say its name, but there's like lots of sights in it to see, so I'm excited to run that. And I think it's just cool. Like, to me, normal days like that are just the best way to get to know the city. And I think a huge pro of Mexico City, if you're considering visiting here, I almost think Mexico City is a more fun city to live in for a short amount of time than maybe to visit for a weekend. I mean, visiting for a weekend would be so fun, but my favorite days have been the ones where I actually get to do more like normal life things, like going for a run, like walking around the parks, like grocery shopping, like weird things like that. But yeah, running. And the other thing we did this past weekend was we went to this thing called I think it's called a Temazcal, something like that. And they're basically these like saunas, but they're made there's like domes, maybe like the size of like a hobbit house made out of like clay or something like that. And you go inside and they're really hot, and they're this like healing ritual. So it's kind of like a guided meditation for 30 minutes. Some can be like as long as 2 hours, and it's hot like a sauna, but then you also do some cleansing things with aloe, and it was just really cool. Like, it was such a cool experience. It was guided through someone from Mexico City. It just felt like we got a part of them and their culture through that experience. So if you come to Mexico, I think it might be all around Mexico, or maybe it's just a Mexico City thing, but definitely try one of those experiences, because I got a lot out of it. And then I think the last thing, that's just to share something, as I usually do, that's like on my mind. This week is actually, those two most recent things are good examples. So what I said, my two of my three favorite things this week. One was meditating through the, I think it's a Temazcals. Correct me, people watching. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, let me know. Meditation through that experience, and then running. Those are two things that I used to think I didn't like to do. I used to kind of think meditation was a little like, hippie or something, and wasn't actually going to make an impact on my life. And I used to think running was really boring, and I hated it until I did challenges for myself. So like, I think actually a full 2 years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, I decided I wanted some more personal goals outside of life, or outside of work, and I signed up for a half marathon, and I did training for a half marathon, and like, I loved it. It turns out I love running long distance, and it's really fun and good for my mind, and now it's part of my experience as I'm doing a remote year. Same with meditation. This past January, I decided, you know what? Let me try it. How do I know I don't like it if I've never tried it? So I did a 28-day challenge, meditated every day for 28 days, and now I still do it, and I just can't even start on this video to talk about all the benefits I've gotten out of it. And related to changing your misconceptions by actually trying things rather just than thinking you know what you know when you haven't even tried it, is remote work. So this week is my second week with a full-time job. I decided a few months into a remote year to take one. I wasn't sure I was going to. I can talk about that whole decision process and how I found a remote job separately if you're interested. But yeah, so this has definitely been I think the most I've worked so far on remote year. And I love remote work. I thought coming on the program that remote work honestly was going to be the hardest part for me, because I really love working with people. I love going into the office every day, building relationships, like the energy you get in an office, running meetings, all these things. So I thought that the remote work part was going to be the hardest for me. But I've actually learned there's so many benefits to it. Like, honestly, I'm not lying when I say I've been more productive working remotely and traveling to different countries every month than I am in the office. I think the biggest benefits that I've noticed so far is, first of all, I can structure my day with kind of like my energy and my responsibilities for that day in a better way. So rather than feeling this like requirement to have to be in the office during these set hours, even if like you're dealing with something during that hour that's going to make you so unproductive, you still stay there because you feel like you have to. And now I don't. I'm like, you know what? I have an hour free right now. I don't have any meetings. No one's relying on me for anything. So I'm going to go for a run, and it's going to clear my head and make me more productive for the rest of the afternoon. So even if it's like a 2 p.m. or a 10 a.m., I might go on that run. And then when I come back, I do better work. So it's like, I don't feel the pressure that the office environment puts on me, which this could be a personal thing, but and hopefully after a remote year, if I do go back into an office now, I'll take this to it. But it's taught me how to better structure my days around my energy, which leads me to be better at my job. The second thing is I'm way more efficient with my hours, I think, because it's easier to limit distractions when you're not working in the office. So when I sit down to do work for 2 hours, like, I get 2 hours of work done. I don't get 90 minutes of work done because someone stops by and someone does this and distracts me. It's like, I set my to-do list at the beginning of the day, and by the end of the day, my to-do list is done. Like, that's never happened to me in the 9 years I was working before I came on remote year. What else? Oh, and also just like one of the obvious things is the commute time. Now that I don't have to do the commute time, I have a better morning routine before work. And it puts me in a better headspace, and I don't waste time commuting. And so I can spend that time doing either more work or more things outside of work, which then makes me a happier person, which then makes me better at my job. So I'm going to stop rambling about remote work. Maybe I'll do a separate video or something all about it. But my point is, this week, some of my favorite things about this week were things that I had a preconceived notion about, not even sure why. I thought I didn't like them, and then I tried them, and now they're really important, great parts of my life. So it's just a reminder to myself and to everyone to challenge your assumptions. And the best way to do that is to actually try things. And it doesn't mean you need to commit to something as extreme as remote year. You could do an easy week challenge, 4-week challenge, something. Try something new, and you might surprise yourself with the things that actually work well for you that you never would have known if you never tried it. So that's what I'm doing in week 13, or that's what I was doing in week 13, heading into week 14. 2 more weeks, 2.5 more weeks, 3 more weeks, something, who knows, in Mexico City. And so I'll see you in about another week and let you know what's been going on. And I keep on forgetting. If you like this video, like it, subscribe, leave some comments in the comment section. Love to know who's watching and what questions you have and just what you're thinking about everything so far. So see you next week.